Gotta love the holidays. I can't wait to open my present. What? That's just a lot of OpenSCAD code. What am I supposed to do with that? Hey everybody, it's Adrian from Zanza's Toys, and a while ago I made this, which is a holiday present box that's openable. So I made it for 1/18 scale action figures, but you can actually use it as a tiny box for a wide number of things. But what's really cool about this is I made it with OpenSCAD, meaning that it's actually all parametric, so you can put in a width, height, and depth and get any kind of box you want. So OpenSCAD is a kind of odd but really great tool in that it lets you create a model with just code. Now that might seem intimidating if you're not comfortable with code, but what I want to do in this video is not so much give you a tutorial on how to use OpenSCAD to create things from scratch, but one of the really awesome things about OpenSCAD, especially in the new version, it makes it really straightforward to take things that other people have made, and as long as they've exposed some key parametric features, and in this case it's the width, height, and depth of this box, you can take what other people have done and use it to have a modified 3D file where you really just have to think about the things you most care about, like the dimensions of this box, without worrying too much about exactly how that's implemented. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how to take the base OpenSCAD file for this box and customize it. So let's dive in. The first thing you want to do is to download OpenSCAD if you haven't already. That's easy enough to do. Just go to OpenSCAD.org and scroll down a little bit and click the download button. It should download pretty quick. It's only like 25 megs. Know that if you're on a Mac like me, you will have to right-click on the file to open it and confirm with your computer that you actually do want to open this since it's downloaded from the internet. But trust me, OpenSCAD is totally safe and perfectly trustworthy, and there's nothing to worry about. Okay, so when you open up OpenSCAD for the first time, you'll see something like this. So we've got three areas. To the left, we have a place where we can write code. In the middle, we have a 3D view where we'll see the results of writing code. And on the right, we have the customizer. This isn't really going to be a tutorial on how to make stuff with OpenSCAD. I'll probably make some videos along those lines in the future. But for this video, I just want to show you how to take something someone else has made and modify it. So in this case, you'll want to get the present.scad file that I'll have a link to in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And you'll see what we have here is a little present box. We have the box itself and a lid. And if I look under the lid, you can see that there's some gaps that accept the tabs on the box so that the two parts can snap together. So there's a lot of code here, and you're certainly more than welcome to look through it and kind of see how I made this. The basic idea is it's all pretty straightforward. It's all mainly just boxes, except for the bow. And the bow is really just two shapes. There's one polygon for the side of the bow, the sort of like poofy part, and there's one polygon for the bits of ribbon that hang on either side. And I take those shapes and extrude them and then repeat them. So like I said, this isn't really going to be a tutorial on OpenSCAD, but you're certainly more than welcome to look at how I did it and modify it as you want. But what I really want to point out in this video is I know it can be kind of overwhelming to do stuff directly in OpenSCAD, but the really nice thing that OpenSCAD provides is that if the original author puts some parameters at the top of the file, you'll get a very nice interface where you don't have to write any code and you can still customize the object. So here I've got a bunch of various values, mainly the three most important being the width, height, and depth. And then there's a few others like bow rotation, ribbon pause, X and Y, etc. And what's really awesome is all of those get converted into this nice interface. So what you can do is you don't have to write any code at all. You can just open this file in OpenSCAD and you'll get a pretty nice interface over here in the customizer. So I'll actually just hide the code view now. And we can totally ignore that code. And we can play with these numbers. So let's say we want a wider box. So I'll make this 40 millimeters. And you can see that the file changes with that new value. So we can play with these and do whatever we want. So I should mention that there are some assumptions baked into this file, that it's a box on this of an appropriate scale for 1/18 scale action figures. So even though you can change the width, height, and depth, I am making some assumptions about things like the width of the ribbon and the size of the bow. If you want to
use this for some other scale, you might want to play with those things and kind of modify the file a bit more. We can make the ribbon a little bit bigger if we want. Like, let's say we want a width of 10. So, you can get pretty far, but things like the actual thickness of the wall and these tabs and etc., there are some assumptions. But, feel free to modify the file more if you want. But if you just want some nice packages for your action figures, you can just play with these. So let's make it, I'm going to make it back to a centimeter tall and maybe 30, depth 30. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can also, just to kind of like round out the discussion of these parameters, so we've played with the width, height, and depth. We played with the ribbon width. The ribbon pos X and Y are actually percentages. So it's 0.5 right now, and you'll see that puts the ribbon in the center. But if you want, you can do something like change this to 0.2, and now it'll be kind of down in one corner. If we do that with the X as well, now we have something where the ribbon is a little off to the side, which might be nice if you want. Change that back. You can even save presets and resets, so that's kind of cool too. So to actually get this out, one thing that's maybe a little bit awkward about OpenSCAD is that saving out a file is actually a two-step process. You have to first render it and then save it. So first thing I'm going to do is go to Design, Render. You'll see some output down at the bottom. You can also just press F6. And depending on the complexity of the file, this may take a little bit. Sometimes will happen very fast, sometimes will take a long time. This is sort of a medium weight object, and in the newest version of OpenSCAD, you'll get a nice little beep when it's all done. So now we have our rendered model, and the difference is that before you render, OpenSCAD is just kind of displaying it, but it's not necessarily a watertight mesh. So when you actually render it, OpenSCAD does all the hard work of actually applying the booleans, rather than just having, for example, just two objects intersecting each other. OpenSCAD will actually do all the geometrical calculations to make it one single mesh. So now this is ready to go, and we can just go to File, Export, Save as STL, give it some name, and save it somewhere, and we'll be ready to print.
So here's the box all printed, and of course once you have one, it's easy enough to make more with different proportions and get a whole variety of boxes. So that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and hopefully this makes OpenSCAD seem a little less intimidating and will help you to be encouraged to go out and try modifying my file or other files you find, and maybe even making your own. Good luck with that, and I hope everybody has a wonderful end to their 2020 and a great start to their 2021. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more toy making, toy hacking, etc. kinds of videos, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. All that stuff helps a lot, and it's greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.